George Armstrong Custer sat on a midnight train out of Washington, a disgraced officer heading toward political exile. The disgrace started with the Belknap scandal. Custer had testified before Congress to expose a web of corruption, where Secretary of War William Belknap took kickbacks from frontier trading posts. Because the scandal implicated the president's own brother, an infuriated Ulysses S. Grant stripped Custer of his command. Custer was only allowed to return to the 7th Cavalry after his superior generals pleaded for his reinstatement at the last minute. He entered the 1876 campaign with his career hanging by a thread. He needed a solo, headline-grabbing victory to restore his reputation and secure a future in politics. On June 21st, the Army's high command met in the cabin of the steamboat Far West. General Terry devised a pincer movement to trap the Native American forces between two converging columns. This confidential report shows Terry's written orders to Custer, which included a fatal loophole. Terry stated he did not wish to impose precise instructions that might hamper Custer's actions while in contact with the enemy. Custer used that discretion to isolate his command. He refused reinforcements from the 2nd Cavalry, insisting the 7th could handle any force they encountered alone. He also turned down a battery of rapid-fire Gatling guns, believing the heavy weapons would slow his march and ruin his mobility. By stripping his regiment of heavy firepower and extra men, Custer ensured that if a victory occurred, he wouldn't have to share the credit. Afraid the enemy might escape, Custer forced his men to ride over 70 miles in just a few days through blistering summer heat. As the regiment departed, a trick of light and mist created a mirage. His wife Libby watched as a reflection of the cavalry appeared to march ghostly into the sky. The actual condition of the regiment was deteriorating. Recruits made up 20% of the force, and archaeological evidence shows the troops and horses were deeply malnourished and exhausted before the first shot was fired. Custer prioritized speed and surprise over combat readiness, trading his unit's fighting capacity for the chance to strike first. On the morning of June 25th, Custer reached a rocky overlook called the Crow's Nest, peering down into the Little Bighorn Valley. His Crow and Arikara scouts spotted signs of a pony herd and an encampment larger than any they had ever seen. When Custer learned he had been spotted by enemy scouts, he worried the village would break camp and scatter before he could reach them. His political desperation overrode the intelligence from his scouts. He ordered an immediate, uncoordinated attack. Before he understood the terrain, Custer divided his exhausted 600-man regiment into 3 separate battalions. As Custer descended into the bluffs, the true scale of the encampment came into view. Thousands of Sioux and Northern Cheyenne warriors stood ready to defend their families. Custer's 5 companies were surrounded and wiped out on the slopes of what is now called Last Stand Hill. The 7th Cavalry carried single-shot Springfield carbines. In the intense heat of battle, the copper cartridges would often expand and jam, forcing soldiers to pry them out with knives. The Lakota and Cheyenne warriors counterattacked with hundreds of rapid-fire repeating rifles like the Winchester, which provided a volume of fire the cavalry couldn't match. Many of those rifles were purchased from the same government trading posts Custer had just exposed during his testimony in the Belknap scandal. In his rush to outrun the consequences of his political whistleblowing, Custer rode directly into them, leaving his legacy in a graveyard of his own making.